Well, hello. Welcome back to another episode of the hashtag TFR
TFR
Motivation
Motivation
Monday
Monday.
Zoom. We are Dr. Dondi and Marcy Nettles.
Hi, guys.
We are your co-hosts tonight. We've got a super, super special guest off in the green room. She's tidying up. She's eating all the
All the
organic snacks
goodies,
and
all
stuff
the
while she's
goodies.
waiting to come on stage. But and we are super excited because it's going to be transformational information. How about finding new ways to build your business? I don't remember who said the quote. I think it was George Carlin, but some of the most impactful experiences we have is when we have something we're familiar with presented in an unfamiliar way. And you're going to get that tonight from Holly. So Holly Thomet is an amazing executive consultant with LifeVantage. She's been here for quite a while. She's going to be the guest tonight, but we're going to go over some announcements. And Marcy, this Team Freedom Reigns YouTube channel, we always talk about it. We need you to go there. We need you to subscribe. We need you to get notified. So when we drop new videos, which is every week, you don't miss out on amazing content like you are about to get. So
yeah, as a matter of fact, on the amazing content, if you have not been to the Team Freedom Reigns YouTube channel, Don D did a really phenomenal interview with another chiropractor and the benefits and results he's been getting with our True Science
Healthy
Liquid
Glow Stack.
Collagen. Yes, and Protandem. So make sure that you go subscribe and watch that as well. So QR code will take you right there.
Simple.
All right, so this is the thing, guys. Every single month, you need to be setting a goal to achieve the Rise Era incentive. And it simply is a matter of bringing in 750 in new volume into your personal account. So that means customers and consultants. So at least one person of that 750 volume needs to be a consultant. The rest can be any combination of customers that you want. Or if you really want to simplify it, you can actually get a track for every business pack consultant that you bring into your business. So that's the most simple way to do it. Yet all of your customers count, even the ones that are simply on Protandem NRF2, bringing in that 42 in volume. Those count towards these tracks now. So you can earn all kinds of things that can help you get to the next event. Our next travel event is going to be in October. We don't know where it's at yet, but we do know that we've got an event coming up in July as well. But before we talk about that, before we started recording, we were talking about this. These two limited time only flavors, these have to be like my favorite of all time, specifically the peach nectarine. So everybody should have had an opportunity to try these now. You should have gotten them in at least one of your past orders. I'd love to hear what's your favorite, because mine, you already know, that peach nectarine, I think, is my all-time Axio favorite. Yet the cherry limeade's really good too. So make sure that you get your orders placed, because we were just told on the executive webinar that, we are almost out of the peach nectarine. They expect us to be sold out before the end of the month. So make sure you get in there. Yeah. So make sure you get in there and get your orders of these LTOs and share it out with all your customers. Make sure they know they need to get their orders into, because they are going fast. So tomorrow is the Momentum Live. It's every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And we have got a special guest that's going to be coming on the Momentum Live tomorrow. It's Dr. Brett Brimhall, and he's going to be doing a major Axio training. And this man has got so much knowledge around Axio. It's actually why he became a consultant, and now he's an executive. So make sure you tune in tomorrow, the 11th, at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's 9 a.m. for us Phoenix folks. And that is always on the US LifeVantage Consultant Facebook page. If you are not part of that Facebook page, you've got to go and request to be part of it so they can check you out. Make sure you're part of the team of LifeVantage. And then you can go back and always watch the replays of all of the past ones as well. Anything you want to say about
this
Dr.
guy's
Brett?
smart. You need to be on. He's gonna go over some amazing information and show some brain scans and pretty
all
powerful.
kinds of good stuff.
Yeah.
And then this event, the Rise event, this is the one that is in July. And by the way, I mean, we are just
coming up quick.
Yeah, we have just over a month before this virtual event. It's free. You're going to have presidential consultants, Brandon Cunningham. He's going to be talking about speed and what your example, how it's setting the example for your team, how you're building your business, the action you're taking yourself. And then Daniel Song is an executive consultant, and he's going to be talking about how to help your new consultants earn money quickly. So very valuable information that's going to be being shared. Plus, make sure that you get registered. This QR code will take you straight there. There's so many of you still to register. So please register. Let us know on the Facebook page that you got registered, and then decide on whether or not you're going to host. And this QR code will take you to the registration page, as well as where they ask you if you want to host a watch party. Why are watch parties cool?
Because one, you can gather information, you can invite prospects, you can have people on your team, you can just rally around the success. You can all share in the excitement of what these incredible speakers and the company itself is going to bring. And sometimes if you're lucky and you let corporate know in advance, they can send you some swag to it. Just accelerate that energy and excitement. And the people that come to these, again, prospects, this is great for prospects. When prospects see information, they see the culture, they see the excitement, and they see what they don't have in their life, the things I just mentioned, it has a significant increase in the likelihood of them joining your team, either as a customer or a consultant. So take advantage of this. It's one of the, if you do not do this, shame on you. It's a free event. It's amazing. And I just learned this from my first mentor in network marketing. He said, if you ever have a chance to go to a presentation from an executive or elite or whatever they call the top earners of that company, and whether you pay for it and you have the ability to get there, go. You don't ever, because they got there for a reason. If you want what they have, you do what they do. And there's no better way to do that than to host and attend this virtual event.
Yeah. So the really cool thing about hosting too is that you get to decide what happens at that event.
Yep.
Right. So we're hosting. So we're going to be doing obviously watching the corporate presentation from these amazing leaders, as well as from our corporate executives. But then we're also going to be doing an opportunity presentation to be able to share more about why people should be getting involved with this. And then on top of that, of course, we have to add food into it, right? So we're going to be doing a potluck. So if you're going to be anywhere near the Arizona area, we would love to have you on the 20th. Our event is going to be running from 8:30 a.m. to noon or 12:30-ish. And let us know. We would love to have you. The temps are only going to be probably about 115. So tolerable. Plus, being a host, you will also get a special invitation to July's executive call. So you'll get to join all of the executives to be able to have some special training on how to be a great host for this event that's happening on July 20th. The event with the executives will be July 12th. And once you are registered as a host, then you will get the invite to be able to join in on the July executive call, which is a pretty cool thing to do. Okay, you want to do this?
All right, yes. Okay, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. So we have, like I told you, she's in the green room. She's probably loaded up on all the organic snacks we've got back there.
I'm thinking Axio.
And the Axio and all that stuff. So this is the amazing executive consultant, Holly Thomet. And as Marcy said, when we got invited from Brandon and Lynette Cunningham to go to Florida to attend an event, she was one of the guest speakers, and she gave everybody this presentation. I've got my form here that I took notes, and it was phenomenal. And obviously we've heard the term filling the funnel. We know what prospect lists are. We know what database lists are, but I never have seen it in this specific way. So you guys are about to be blown away. So let me share with you Holly's background. She sent us her bio. So Holly's from Ada, Michigan. She's a homeschool mom and has been a horse trainer and coach for over 30 years. She became passionate about health and wellness almost 20 years ago when she was pregnant with her daughter, Olivia. The opportunity to partner with LifeVantage came to her 7 years ago, and while it took her some time to jump on board, she has been passionately sharing the information for 6 years now and has become a top leader and well-respected leader in the company. That was my addition there. Her desire is to see people living their best lives from a health and financial and spiritual standpoint. Could not have said that any better. Holly, we are so tremendously honored. And first of all, let me just kind of share with you guys. When we extended this invitation to Holly, she didn't use any expletives, but she said, it's an absolute yes. She said an absolute immediate yes. And that's one thing I love about this company, is because when you have top leaders in the company, they really, really do their best to work with each other and work, because a rising tide raises all ships. So Holly, we are so eternally grateful for you and your skill set, your background, your passion. Just please welcome and please, you guys, welcome Holly Thomet. Thank you so much for your time. You guys are about to be blown away.
Thanks, Holly.
My goodness. Thank you guys. What a great introduction. No pressure at all. It was an absolute yes without hesitation, because it's so humbling for me to be asked by amazing leaders like you to come on and share information with your team. So I was humbled to speak at Castaway, and then even more so when you guys asked me to hop on for your team. I was like, oh my gosh. So thank you for even giving me the opportunity to do this. I do love teaching. I do love sharing. I am a coach. I've been doing this for decades. Not this, because it's a whole new business, right? But as a coach and trainer, like it really fills my cup to be able to share information. So I'm glad you guys found it helpful. We were at Castaway, and I hope you guys will find it helpful tonight as well. So I'm going to share my screen because there is a PDF that I created. It's a little different for me. I don't have slides, so I'm just literally going to share the PDF that I have pulled up. And I actually have my own notes in my hand too. So we're just going to kind of go to school here for a minute. Okay. Let's see here if I can get this pulled up for you guys. Everybody see that okay?
Yes.
Yep.
Fantastic. Then I got to move you all around so you're not blocking my view as much as I love your beautiful faces. Okay, there we go. Okay, so as Dr. Dondi and Marcy said, we're going to talk about filling your funnel. The reason this became really important to me was I started out, early on in this business, like I felt like I had a lot of connections, and I thought, wow, this is really cool kind of being in this field that I was in for so many years, the connections in the horse world. The warm market for me was pretty big, but guess what? The warm market gets used up. And pretty soon I found myself going, I need to create some new relationships. I need to work on some cold market stuff. And the cold market stuff, you guys, just to me didn't feel good. It just wasn't, it didn't feel good the way I had to go about it. So I thought, you know what, let's just get really good at making new relationships to keep filling our funnel and then move them through this process of ITT, which I know we're all familiar with. So as this shows you right here, we're going to do two things. We're going to learn how to continually add to our database list so we never run out of prospects to invite. It's impossible to run out. I mean, you just can't do it. Not in our world. It's impossible. So let's learn how to fill that database list and then learn how to move the prospects. This is the key, right? Having them written down doesn't do you any good unless you can move them from the invite to actually the enrollment process as a customer or a consultant. Either one's perfect. That all starts, all of it, with a conversation. All of this comes down to having conversations, and that's what we want to do. So how do we add to our database list? I want you to write down every person who comes to mind every day. That might sound tedious, but it's not. You'll just be doing stuff, going about your day, or you'll run into somebody and you're going to want to jot their names down, or you will forget. I know I'll forget, right? Life is busy. So write down everybody's name that comes to mind on a daily basis and take note of maybe what you heard or what you've seen on social media about them. So you want to know when you do reach out, you want to have a little bit of information about them. So pay attention to what is their pain point. Is it health or financial issues? People are talking about, maybe trying to find a new purpose. Maybe they're retired. Maybe they're changing careers. Maybe they're new to being home with their kids. They just want to find a new purpose. Maybe it's a lack of community. You heard the Nettles talk about, these events that we get to host. It does show our culture and our community. Maybe someone's really lacking that, or maybe they just don't have enough time. But it's not just what is their pain point. You also want to pay attention to what are their strengths. This was new to me when I figured this out. Someone shared this. I thought that is really powerful information. Think about people's strengths because you want to qualify your prospects. The products are for everybody. The business is not. What do you think about that? The products are for every human on the planet and animal, in my opinion. The business isn't. Learn to qualify your prospects, right? So what are their strengths? What made you think of them? Is their future or their past success in business? Do they have really good communication skills, great energy? They're driven, they're influential, whatever that is. And then where do you find the people? So I do use social media a lot. Not everybody does, and that's okay. But some of this we're going to talk about tonight does have to do with social media. So social media like Facebook, it always recommends friends, right? Suggested friends. Make sure first they're active on Facebook and make sure that you actually like them, right? Again, you want to qualify the people that you're connecting with. So I don't want to reach out to someone unless I genuinely would like to meet them in person. I like their energy. I like what they're posting on Facebook. And if you go to their profile page and they haven't posted in 3 years, they're not very active anyways. And that actually can mess up your algorithms. That's a whole nother training. But Facebook will tell you friends of friends. I'll go to my Facebook friends and I'll look at their list of friends and see who I might like to connect with. Not my downline. I'm always very careful of that, right? I want my downline to have access to those people. I'm here to help and support. So if it's a friend of a downline person, I try to not connect with them. And then here's another trick that I found really helpful. Look at comments on a friend's popular post, someone you're already friends with, look at the comments on there. If you pay attention to the comments, you are going to find like-minded people. You're going to be drawn to some comments people make, and you're going to be like, okay, that resonates with me. I'd probably really like this person, and maybe engage in the conversation. Pay attention to posts specifically regarding health, pain points, common interest, that kind of thing. And you can make new connections there. I'll give you an example of this. I had a Facebook friend. She's always posting about how broke she is, her difficulties in life. She posted about her health issues. Sounds like a great candidate for our products, right? But she's not open to that. I've tried and tried and tried. But as she's posting about having like financial, pain points, people are coming on her posts talking about how they're working 3 jobs. They're encouraging her. They're not buying into the I'm broke mentality, poor me. These are people that are going out there and getting it done. And I'm like, that's someone I want to connect with. Someone made a comment about a Dave Ramsey, book that they read. And I'm like, I'm a Dave Ramsey fan. So that's fantastic. So off of her one post, you guys, I think I connected with like 15 new people that were like, I like what they're saying to this girl. This is what she needs to hear. They're speaking truth. They're being kind, but they're also go-getters. Those are my people, new friends, right? So pay attention to things that you can do in the comments of other people's posts. And of course, Facebook groups we can utilize, and birthday notifications. You guys, birthday notifications to me, it's like, I can't wait to get those every day, because that is such a great way to build relationships. Just someone today, I reached out for the first time about Axio, and going back on our thread, I've wished her happy birthday for the last like 4 or 5 years. We've had conversations, but Axio seems to be the part that's really going to get her to maybe actually be a customer. The birthday notifications, I just have a keyboard shortcut in my phone. So it's really easy for me to wish those happy birthdays to people, or belated birthdays. Maybe I'm a day late and I missed it on a day. But that really creates, I don't know, it matters how we make people feel. And if you're wishing them happy birthday and you're consistent about that, and I always ask a question like, what'd you do on your birthday, or how did you celebrate? Like, try to make it a conversation. Birthday notifications to me are a huge help in this business. It really does help with the relationships. And then staying on social media here, creating consistent quality content in social media is really helpful. Social media to me is a job now, you guys. It's not, we'll talk about this later too, but I don't get on social media and just like waste time. If I'm going to be on there, I'm going to monetize that baby. I want it working for me. So I'm going to find new friends, create new relationships. And so we also have to give a little bit. So bring good content, bring value, educate people, inspire people, entertain. It's okay to make people laugh. Don't sell. People don't go to social media to be sold to. So that'll be a real big turnoff. You can create curiosity, right? With products and information with your education post. Be positive, be authentic. They're joining you. Let them see who you are. You're going to build that trust if you can be genuine and authentic. And also position yourself as an authority. You don't have to be an expert on anything. If you know this much more than someone else, in their eyes, you're an expert. So position yourself as an authority. You don't have to have all of the answers, but you can definitely bring some value and share with people. And this can really create some organic lead generation, which you want because people are going to comment. So the people who comment, like, and follow you should absolutely be added to your database list. Pay attention to your stories as well. I did that today. We trained our team this week to do an Axio series of stories, and then pay attention to who follows the series to the very end. Who liked it enough? Who was intrigued enough to follow it to the very end? Those are the people you can reach out to, right? Ask if they'd like to see a short video on Axio. I can't wait to hear what Dr. Brett says on that call. That's going to be fantastic. And reach out and thank those who are liking, commenting, and following you, and start a conversation with them. Let them know that you see them and you appreciate them. Face-to-face people, this is the best to me. Like, I prefer face-to-face much more than social media, but social media can really, really be beneficial to us. But when you're face-to-face, think about people at the salon, the gym, networking group, social function, restaurants, school events. You're sitting there at a soccer game or a basketball game. There's parents there. You can have conversations with them. Create relationships that can lead to being added to your database list and moving them through your funnel. Travel, if you're traveling, airplanes, right? Airports, coworkers, appointments for the dentist, chiropractors, all of this stuff. People are all around you. So just be listening. But like I said, qualify your prospects. The products are for everyone. Do not hesitate to share the product information, but qualify your business partners. You want people who are going to go out there and get it done, right? So what's the invite look like? So you're adding your database list. That's how you get new people added to your list. Now, what does it look like? Now you got to move into the invite phase. So you've created a little bit of conversation. You got a bit of a relationship going, some kind of dialogue. When you do your invite, this is so important. And I had to learn this the hard way. I'm a girl, I'm a talker. I don't land the plane quickly. My husband's like, honey, land the plane, right? Women are really good at circling the plane. We like to tell the whole story. I had to learn to shorten my invites. So short, on point, not watered down and mixed in with conversation. Get to the point, let them know why you reached out to them, why you thought of them, right? And know them. So from your database list, you've got a note there to why you reached out to them, to let them know why you thought of them, and know your goal. This is really important. When we invite people, our goal is not, this is going to surprise you a little bit, but the goal is not to enroll them. The goal is not to get a customer or to get a business partner. Your invite, the sole purpose of your invite should be to find out who's open. That's it. You just want to find out. You're filtering through your connections to find out who's open and who's not. And those who aren't, it's just right now. They may very well be open later. So if you invite them to look at the information and they say yes, don't just send them a bunch of information. Don't send the videos. In my opinion, it's so much better to pump the brakes right there. It's easy to get excited, right? You've reached out, you did an invite, and they're like, yeah, I'm open. You're like, yes. And then you just want to send them everything. Don't do that. You got to pump the brakes a minute. Ask when they can take a look, and don't send anything till they tell you when it's a good time. I promise you it will make the follow-up easier. We're going to get the follow-up next. But if you know when they can look at it, you're respecting their time and yours. Because if you just send a bunch of information to them, a video, whatever, an invite to a Facebook group, you don't really know when they're going to actually look at the video or jump into the Facebook group. But if you can say, hey, I'm so glad you're open to learning more. When is a good time to send you a 5-minute video? Or when can you check out the Facebook group? Whatever you're inviting them to, right? Get a time. Then you know when to follow up, because now you know when they committed to taking a look for you. Face-to-face, again, invite a prospect to lunch, coffee, or a walk. Develop a relationship to build trust and get a better idea of their needs. We're always looking to find out how we can solve a problem for somebody. And we learn that by listening. So talking a little bit, listening a lot, and asking a lot of questions is key. And never, ever stop inviting. Invite, invite, invite. Maybe you can do 1 a day. Maybe you can do 3 a day. Sometimes maybe you can do 5 or 10 a day. I'm a mass inviter. I have that mentality, like I can't stop till I feel like it's all done. It's never going to be all done because I'm never inviting everyone that I know. But we do on our team with some of our leaders who are a little bit wired like I am. We'll have weekends. We'll go, okay, mass invite weekend. And we'll make a goal of 70 to 100 invites just in that weekend. Then you've got a ton of people in your funnel and you've got a lot of follow-up to do. But every now and then, Rob Sperry says it too. I love listening to Rob Sperry with some trainings, but he's like, some days require just focused intensity. Those are those days of mass inviting that we do sometimes. You don't have to do that. It's just something we do. It's kind of fun. It's a challenge. So now you've invited. Now we got to go to the follow-up. Okay. So your follow-up needs to be timely, whether it's the same day, the next day, or whatever, and then be consistent in your follow-up after that. And if you set the appointment, you know when they're going to take a look at the video or when they're going to jump in the Facebook group or whatever it is you invited them to, you'll know when to follow up, right? If they said 8 o'clock that night is great, good. Follow up at 8:15, follow up at 8:30. Maybe it's the next day, maybe it's the weekend, whatever it looks like. Just know when they said they can look at it, then you'll know when to follow up and be consistent in your follow-ups. And in your follow-ups, you guys, keep it focused on them. Everything in this business, I find, is done better and it feels better when we make it about them. The more you can do that, the better it feels. And I think the more effective it is because that comes across to them and you're going to make that person feel very important and very valued. So the follow-up doesn't have to be about products or business. Maybe somebody's a little bit slow getting back to you. You're not really sure where they stand. You don't have to just follow up about the business. What do you think about the video? How do you feel about the information in the Facebook group? Maybe you just, again, slow it down a little bit and ask them how their family's doing. What do you see going on Facebook? Maybe they've had I just had someone today, her daughter just had surgery, her 5.5-year-old daughter. She didn't get the order of Axio like she was going to because her daughter, I knew this because I was watching what was happening on Facebook. So I got to follow up with her, not about when she's going to get her order in. I followed up and said, hey, how's your little girl doing? That's a follow-up that means something, right? So don't think your follow-up always has to be about the products or the business. And then learn to ask good questions, quality questions. Your follow-up can be, were you serious about whatever they were talking to you about? Feeling better, having more energy, right? Feeling younger, having less aches and pains. Were you serious about that? Or how do you feel about maybe the video that they watched, the information they've seen so far? I like to ask, what's the next step for you? And one of my favorite questions to ask is, are you ready to start benefiting from what you've been learning about? I love that question. Who's going to say no to that, right? I try not to ask yes or no questions. That's too easy and kind of puts a period at the conversation. There's like, where do you go from there if they just say no? But if you can talk about feelings, right? Not what they think, how do they feel? Get the feeling part of it. That's really effective. And then you can offer recommendations. This is a great, great thing to help people jump into the ordering phase or the enrollment phase a little faster. Would it be helpful if I share a recommendation, or if I tag you in a few things, or would you like to watch another short video on whatever it is you've been talking to them about? Offering recommendations is super helpful, and then sharing a cart. One of my favorite things to do over the past year has been to say, would it be helpful for you if I put a couple recommendations together, and then you can choose the cart that's best for you? People love that because you save them the overwhelm of going to the website, having to figure out what products they want. If you can just put a couple options, not too many, keep it simple, 2, maybe 3. Sometimes we'll do a good, better, best, right? And share those options with them. Almost always they're going to pick one and they're going to order. And then they still feel like they're in control too, because you gave them options, they got to choose. So offer recommendations and always share a cart. I think statistically speaking, there's like a 70+% rate of closure when you send a cart, maybe even higher than that. So sending a cart is a big deal. Take time to do that. And it's super helpful. And then follow up until. People laugh at me. I say follow up until they tell you to go away. Like until they literally tell you, stop following up with me. Sometimes my follow up is, I don't want to be a pain in your butt, but this information is too important not to share with you. I don't want to assume you're not interested. Right? So follow up until, and if you invite without following up, you've wasted your time. You can invite all day long, but if you do not follow up, it's a waste of your time because people will not just come knocking on your door, calling you on the phone because you invited them to take a look. That rarely happens. So be committed to the follow-up. It's such an important part of the business. And then when it comes to social media, like I said, if you're going to be on these things right here or on your laptop or your iPad, whatever it is, friends, do it with a purpose. Don't let this thing like suck the life out of us and our time and our day. All of our minutes are a gift. So if you're going to be on there, I just highly recommend doing it with a purpose. Be a detective searching for problems that you can help solve. We have solutions. Health solutions, financial solutions. We have solutions for community, so many things that we can help people with. So be on there like a detective, just searching for people that you can help solve problems for. And for new friends you'd love to get to know regardless of your business. Just genuinely you would want to connect with them. Again, it just all feels so much better. When it comes to social media, I want you to think about this. This was a really good saying that I heard. This was actually from a Christian music artist, believe it or not. Nothing to do with network marketing, but I thought this was so important. When it comes to social media, if you're building there, do you want attention or connection? Followers and friends are for nothing if you can't connect with them. It's far less about the numbers and more about the content you bring to those who are watching and listening. So be more concerned about serving them than gaining more. That's huge. I can get hung up on like my Instagram followers, thinking the more followers, the better for my business. That's not true. I need to focus on the content I'm bringing for the people who are already watching and focus way less on gaining more numbers. And the last thing I'll leave you with is don't forget these 3 things right here. Just like we talked about, always be adding to your database list. I should have brought my papers up here. We have a sheet we print out that our team can use. And we just print copies as we need them. And it's got a space for our database list. It's got the name, the date we added them, and whatever notes that made us think of them. So when we go to invite them, we have the information in front of us. And then when you go to do your invites, whether it's a mass invite day or it's just 2 a day or 10 a day, whatever it looks like, you can go to your database list. You have information right at your fingertips. You don't have to go, oh, who am I going to invite today? It's right there. It's so efficient and so effective. And then follow up until. So add to the database list, invite, and follow up until. Those are, I think, the keys to this business. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys tonight. I'm happy to answer questions if anybody has them. I don't know how much time you guys have, but I'll stop sharing now and get back where I can see your faces again.
That was fantastic.
Seriously.
Oh my gosh. So I think that was probably even better for me the second time around. Because first of all, there's so many distractions when you're in a group of people that just tried the new Axio flavors, right? Because we had all gotten the opportunity to try the new flavors while we were there in Florida. But this is such a simple plan that every single one of us, right, Cami, is this what you were looking for? This is what Cami was looking for. This is so simple that, I mean, I know I'm going to be going and I'm going to be following this to the T, because we're restarting and rebuilding, new team within our team, right? And so if we just stay focused on this, I mean, I wrote down so many golden nuggets here. It's like the goal is to find out who is open when you're inviting, right? You want to make sure that you respect their time and yours by asking and knowing when they can watch so that you're not having to chase them. And then make sure that you follow up when they said that they can watch it, right? Because if you don't follow up, and this is, you guys have probably heard me say this before, but when you go through the work of inviting someone to take a look and they say yes, and you send them over some information, and if you don't follow up with them until, all you're doing is priming the pump for the next person that will come along to share this with them, and they will be that much closer to getting a new customer or consultant because you've already done most of the heavy lifting. So don't quit before you strike those diamonds, right? So, I mean, just so much good stuff. The good, better, best on the card options. I mean, be a detective of problems we can help solve. Is there anybody that's on here that has any questions? Those of you that are with us live, do you have any questions? And if you're on Facebook, is there any questions for Holly right now? Please, Mary Ellen, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi there. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Holly. I think that a thing that really struck me just now, I started typing, but there's too many words to type. But when you guys and you reiterated it too, Marcy, when you said, invite the people, but let them, come up with the time to get together, sort of, is so much better than so much teaching that's out there right now that says you got to tell them, say, hey, you've got this day or this day, when can you do it? There's like that thing. But I'm kind of more from that school too, that I don't want to push anybody away by being like that, because that's not me. And I think it's really hard for me to learn to reteach myself that, and I've been having a hard time with that. And it's like, I really want to share this with you. When's a good time to get together, so to try and unlearn that you got to get to them, kind of thing, is like, you just gave me a lot of peace. So it's not really a question as much as, oh, I feel so relieved right now because of that, that pressure to invite.
I think, Mary Ellen, yeah, I feel so much like that too. And I think that there's so many great trainers and teachers in this industry, and I've listened to a lot, and they're so good. And then I land on the ones that really resonate with me. So you do the business the way that feels good to you. I don't think there's a right or a wrong way. And like I said, sometimes that approach works for like very business-minded people who are very scheduled and very like high pressure. And I'm just so not that type. I'm a homeschool mom, and we are so laid back around here. Like that doesn't work for me. If someone did that to me, I'd be like, no, thank you. But it works for some people. So it's not that it's wrong, right? It's just what works for us. And so, and even for my team, some people would maybe take a more like intense approach, and that's okay if it works for them. Just, it's not my style. So I feel like you do. I absolutely resonate with what you were saying.
Yeah, that's so good. And
Yeah, thanks. I really like that.
I agree.
I keep forgetting that. Yeah, I keep forgetting that piece that it has to be what makes us comfortable. And to kind of like you guys are always saying, stand in that, just stand in that truth for yourself and don't worry about other people. So very helpful tonight. Thank you.
I'm glad. Thank you.
Any other questions? Anybody? I'm looking through the Facebook too, and I'm not seeing any there. We good? Okay.
I just want to make a comment.
Go ahead, please.
It hit me in Florida and even more again today. And that's the recommendations part. I mean, I'd never heard anybody, hey, would you like me to make some recommendations? You know, I'll give you giving 2 carts and they can decide. That is just brilliant because it's, again, it's in their best interest. It's for their benefit. And so often, and being on LinkedIn and on Facebook, when somebody's, hey, when you got some time, I'd love to share with you what I'm doing. That's obviously all about them. And there, to your point, Holly, there's lots of trainers out there that train that way, and that's okay if it works for them, but you got to find your own vibe. And I love that. I've never heard anybody talk about making recommendations. That is an absolute gold nugget. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. And I will tell you that my business changed. I mean, we've had really strong enrollments, you know, for 6 years. It's been fantastic. But I will tell you, when I switched that, where I was like, this could be overwhelming. I had someone say to me one time, there's so much information on the website, they didn't know where to start.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, light bulb. What if I just throw some recommendations together for you? And we've done it ever since. And we'll have people sit on the fence not doing anything. But the day you reach out and say, hey, I know it's a lot to think about. Would it be helpful if I had to put a couple of recommendations together for you? And most people are like, yes, please. They've kind of been sitting there because they were frozen. And when you offer that, it just, yeah, it's a big breakthrough. It's been very helpful.
So good. Okay, so we have the PDF of the Fill Your Funnel that she just went through with us. I put it in the comments of the live on the Facebook page, but I will also, it's also on the Team Freedom Reigns boards, and I will put it up as an actual post by itself in the Facebook group. Now, this is the thing. Next Monday night, we're actually going to be with Holly. We're going to be in Ada, Michigan, doing presentation and training for her team as part of their 90-day run. And so your challenge is to download, and Hagen, I will send this over to you as well. Download the PDF, go through it, and start seeing who is open. And then next Monday night, because we will not be having a live call because we'll be teaching and doing the opportunity presentation, then how about do a little bit of a mass invite? Spend the time that you would normally be on here with us, utilizing the information that you just learned, because information or knowledge is not power. Nope, it's potential power. So knowledge is just information, right? It becomes powerful when you put action behind it. So you can take what Holly just shared and turn it into a very powerful movement in your business. Download this, review it again, watch this because it's on the Facebook page and it will be on YouTube, and then put it into action next week, because that we won't be here for a live call. So utilize your time by building your business with action. Okay. Anything you want to add?
Can I throw something with that, Marcy? Because I love that you said that. First of all, the fact you guys said yes to come to us, and it's on the night that you have a team call, makes it even more. We're so full of gratitude you guys are doing this. Thank you so much. You said mass invites, and I love that because I love when we do mass invites. It like fires me up. But the reason I love it is because we have newer people on the team when they come in. Like when you flex that invite muscle, you guys, if you can get together, even do a Zoom, your team call is not happening, right? Hop on together, do like a little work with me, and just sit there with accountability and just do as many invites as you can in 30 minutes, whatever it looks like. The more you do that and you get really efficient at it, it becomes just like breathing. It becomes so much easier. So I love that. Flex that muscle. The more invites you do, the easier it gets.
And the more confidence you have.
Absolutely.
Right. So awesome. Well, thank you so much, Holly. That was such a blessing to us as well as to our team. And so guys, that's your challenge for next week. Let's do some mass invites. Let's get our fill your funnel this week by adding and going out and seeing people that are on Facebook or in person, all that kind of stuff. And then get yourself to that point of invitations next Monday night and before. You could be doing it before that. Don't wait till Monday night. Don't wait. Right. All right. Action, action, action. All right, guys. So good to see you all. Thank you again, Holly. And we'll see you in person soon. Okay. Bye, guys.
Everybody. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.